We are back and we are kicking off Sharon and Friends with Stacy.
Happy to be back. We're talking spring break and lots of celebrity.
Hello and welcome back to the Long Island Tea, where we spill the tea on living your best Long Island life. I'm Sharon.
I'm Stacy.
Stacy. Very first episode of Sharon and Friends. So thank you for joining me.
Very happy to be back.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it.
It was like high demand.
Was it? Thank you. That has not been relayed to me, but I'm happy to know
I
that's
feel like
the case.
Everybody's like, we need to bring Stacy back.
Thank you. My friends and family certainly felt that way. Yeah. But I'm very happy to be back. I really enjoyed my first podcast with you here. So anytime you guys need me,
all right,
just 2 offices away.
Yeah. We'll knock on your door. This is going to be a fun segment, I think, because this is, our first episode without Kristen.
Yeah.
So I have to say, how you doing?
How you doing? Little less enthusiastic, knowing that the status of our fearless leader. Mm-hmm. But very happy for her, and maybe I'll save my emotions to the end.
Yep.
For the end of this, we won't start off with tears. No one likes that. But again, really happy to be here and discuss what we've got going on.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. Michael did a really good job with the notes. I have to say, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's all right.
That's you are another fearless leader, so thank you for saying that. I will agree in the moment. Mm-hmm. I think my joy for Kristen and my just enthusiasm over following her going forward like a celebrity.
Yeah, she's royalty.
Will get me through. Yeah, and I do just want to restate, there was a lot of articles that came out last week, and I want to restate one that said it's the second most important job in the city of Chicago besides the mayor. Yeah. So Kristen and Long Island represent, it's, and I don't mean to repeat stuff that you guys have already said, but, the CEO of Discover Long Island being chosen to have that job at Choose Chicago is, really just shows what Long Island has to offer and what Kristen has accomplished in her decade here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, watch out Chicago, because that's a force to reckon with, I swear. But no, I couldn't be more happier for her. And I'm super personally sad, but at the same time, super excited for her because it's just going to be awesome. And we're lucky enough to have her sit in here with us today and watch us. Yeah. And, hopefully I do you proud.
I'm sure. I think the other thing that's really nice about her move is that she's gotten that extra bedroom for us when we want to go down.
Absolutely.
And we didn't even discuss it with her, which is so nice. It was like, she just brought it to our attention. It was like, we had been talking about it and saying, we're going to go to Chicago often. We're going to stay with her. And, it's nice to know that she was listening. So thank you so much in advance. I can't wait.
Oh, God bless. God bless, Kristen. No, we are talking spring break this week because it's spring break, and why not kick it off with a beautiful, balmy 50-degree day today? Finally, the sun is shining.
Yeah, it was a little deceiving. I actually checked the weather. It seems like it was high 40s, which is, pretty average for what we've been dealing with here, even though we're entering mid-April. But I stepped outside and it was nice. As long as the sun is shining.
As long as it's warm. I feel like I'm such a Debbie Downer. I talk about like how angry I get over the weather, but it really does affect your soul.
It does.
With the sun beating on you today, it's going to be a good week.
I think so. It's supposed to be nice this week. I am getting my last wear in for some of my winter clothes. I'm in wool today, which probably isn't the best material for a podcast studio in general. Right. But Chris, thankfully,
turn the air on.
I appreciate that because if you're watching this on YouTube, there's nothing cute about watching someone get sweaty. But yeah, I got my last wear in for my wool blazer today. I've got a couple things lined up this week that I hope to retire by the end of this week. I would like to take all of my winter jackets
And burn them.
I would like to put them in a pile and just burn them, minus the toxins, removing that aspect of it. But I don't want to see them anymore. I do like to go through the pockets of all my winter jackets before I put them away.
You do? I like a surprise next year.
It's also true. I guess it depends on how lazy I am. But I do like little last bits of change. There's usually a 20 in there somewhere. Yeah, there's something, a receipt I should have turned in for work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of like the last bit of joy before retiring those winter jackets.
Do you have any plans this week?
My kids are off. So my brother flew in from out of town, so he'll be hanging with my daughter a bit. And my sister is also taking her to DC. So my daughter is taken care of all week. My son has sports.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's usually my answer for everything.
I literally, Friday night, this past Friday when it was like pouring rain, my son had a baseball game in the rain. And I'm like, why aren't they canceling it? I don't understand. Up until the minute before we leave, I'm like checking the app. Is it canceled? Is it canceled? And it wasn't. But he played like his best game. It was awesome.
What are the rules for baseball and like canceling? For soccer, I know there has to be lightning. There can be thunder and rain.
Yeah.
But if there's lightning, that's it.
It's all day play. I don't know. I have to check, but I think it's probably the same thing. But he had already rescheduled the game already, so they have to get in enough games, so they had to play it. But it's so cute. I love it. I'm like, baseball's my sport, I think. He did wrestling. I was like, I didn't like it. But yeah, baseball's exciting.
My last week, leading into this week, I'm healing out with the old and with the flu.
Yes.
I am getting over the flu now. So I was not here for much of last week. I'm very excited to be back. But in addition to the flu, allergy season has kicked in for spring. Yeah. So it's fun because you never know what it is, what's making you feel sick. Yeah. Is it flu? Is it allergies?
Gosh. I had like a 24-hour sore throat on Friday. I was talking to Chris and like my voice like literally changed. She's like, oh, yeah, right? Yeah, okay. And I'm like, no, I feel like I have 2 golf balls in the back of my throat. And I don't know. It went away.
Allergies?
Yeah, I think it was probably allergies. I don't know.
Yeah. I like the parts of spring that are beneficial and wonderful to step in. The weather, I'd like the allergies to be moved aside and let's just take advantage, especially of what Long Island has to offer.
Oh, yeah.
And so while there's a ton of amazing things over the winter and in the cooler months, it's really lovely to take advantage of Long Island in the spring. And I'd like to start doing that immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many things, especially spring break. I mean, I don't really have many plans. I'm going to be working, but my kids are going to camp. They get to get swim in at the YMCA, which is so nice. Cool. But yeah, so this week on Long Island, you can go to some really fun things like Adventureland in Farmingdale, Urban Air Adventure Park in Lake Grove, the Long Island Aquarium. My kids have been begging me to go there in Riverhead.
Just one thing about the aquarium that I have to do that I think
Shark dive? You're going to do it?
I want to do it. Last time we were at a meeting with Brian, I brought it up. I did not know it existed. So I would urge everybody, if you think you know what the aquarium has to offer, go to their website and go to I'm not sure if it's the experiences section, something like that. And there's meet a penguin or a seal, those cute type of things.
Pet the stingrays, right?
Right, all of that. And that is so cool and fun. If you've done that or have done that already or, want to do something beyond that, you put on a suit and you basically they lower you down in a cage and there's like a shark that swims around.
I feel like I'm too claustrophobic to do that.
I feel like as long as I know, you're safe. Knock 3 times and it'll let you up. But I just think that's such a cool thing. I need to be sure to tackle that this season.
I'll come and watch. What else we have?
We've got the Game Farm in Manorville, White Post Farm in Melville. Quick side note about that. One of my daughter's favorite things growing up was going there because you hold that stick with the bird food on it.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it's cute when it's a butterfly thing. I think theirs are birds.
Wow.
Which is a little too Alfred Hitchcock for me. So I would send her in there at like 3 years old and be like, you're good. And she would hold a stick and they would all flock to her and land all over her. But that's sort of like a nice hands-on
experience. Yeah, absolutely. We have the Fire Island Lighthouse and Robert Moses, which I love. I love that. That's one of my faves. Long Island Museum of Arts, History, and Carriages in Stony Brook, and the Vanderbilt Museum and Planetarium in Centerport, and good old Dave and Buster's in Islandia. But you can download our app to find things happening near you because it's geofenced, so it follows where you go, and you can see all of our wonderful attractions and things to do during spring break.
Yeah, I am very dependent. I have been very dependent on our app lately.
Yeah.
Because I'm going out east more and more and discovering different towns, even towns that I think I know. And the geofencing type, that feature is nice because, I don't want to do the research. Sometimes my kid's hungry. I'm cranky. I want to move to the next thing. I want to make the most of a day. If it's going to rain the second half of the day, I want to make most of 3 hours I have in that town.
Yeah.
So once I go into the app and it's like, all right, I've tackled this like point of interest or thing to do. Now we need to eat, and it'll come up right away, which is nice. I do just want to do one thing about Vanderbilt Planetarium. Mm-hmm. I will be going with my friends soon. I've done it with my kids before for cute light shows. They have like a Sesame Street themed one. They have that enormous telescope, but they have shows at like 9:30 or 10 light shows that are like, there's Taylor Swift ones, which are cute.
Yeah.
Then they have like Grateful Dead, Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And so my friends and I have been talking like, what haven't we done that's like on our, that we need to check the box. And we're like, we keep talking about this. We're not doing it. So we said that is going to be one of the things that we tackle. And we're very excited. Go have dinner. Yeah. And then go and sit back and just sort of like adult out for a minute.
I love it. That's awesome. I don't think I've ever done one of those shows. But I've heard of them. I think my kids are going, one of my children are going to a field trip there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I grew up not in Suffolk County, so that was I don't think we ever got out there, but that is very cool and nice.
Yeah, it's a fun field trip.
We missed out on that
one. They love it though because the seats recline. It's like when it rains, they like throw water on you. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. What else do we have going on Long Island? Oh, Long Island Cherry Blossom Viewing Guide.
Yes.
I was just talking to Emmeline about this because she loves this. She goes every year to the planting fields and Arboretum to check out the cherry blossoms and things like that. And she's like, I went this past weekend and they're not blooming yet because it's been so cold.
Yeah.
But this next couple of weeks, the weather's going to pick up and I feel like it's going to be a really amazing place to go see the cherry blossoms.
There's various places we can go. In addition to planting fields, go to Greenport Village, Argyle Lake County Park in Babylon, Comset State Park in Lloyd Harbor, downtown Northport, always has a ton to offer, Fire Island Pines. You say Fire Island to me, I like my endorphins start going. I'm so excited to get over to Fire Island.
I know.
I just want to be there all the time. And then, of course, Bayard Cutting, Arboretum, and Great River.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's spring as sprung, I feel like.
We're trying.
We're trying really hard here.
I think if we say it a lot during this podcast, we're
manifesting it. This is what's happening. But no, there's also more blooms and nature things like Water Drinker Family Farm is known for their famed tulip festival in spring. And they have 2 million tulips planted. Yes. It's amazing.
I want to go see all of them.
I was just going to ask you, have you ever seen a rainbow sea of 2 million tulips? What a description. But yeah, you can visit their tulip farms, Barnyard Animals, where they also have mini golf, tractor pedal cars, an obstacle course, a wooden playland, and family photo spots. But my favorite part is the Long Island Farm Brewery.
It makes it all bearable.
It is. It's awesome. I love this family. They are truly a really hardworking farm family. But they just opened up the Long Island Farm Brewery, I think, last year to enjoy some local brews, and it's awesome.
That is great.
We had our live podcast there.
I was just going to say
last summer.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
I would have liked to be there for that, but we will go there.
Yes, we'll do it again. You can see some meadows and beach forest dunes in Pominock Path on Long Island South Fork, and you can visit the shores and connects the woods of Rocky Point to the shores of Montauk State Park, and you may be lucky enough to spot deer, foxes, and harbor seals.
I do love a seal viewing.
Have you ever done that?
I have.
I've done it. I think I was like, I don't know, I was pregnant with one of them, and I went out really early in the morning, and I was like, did the hike to see the seals. It was so magical.
Oh, you did a hike? That's much nicer. I went the lazy route, just got on a boat.
Oh, okay.
But I would like to do a hike to see them.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That's nice. it's just you're chancing it. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't.
Right.
But I think I've done it twice and I've been lucky both times. So I think they want to be seen.
They want to be seen. They're out there. They're ready.
Showing off their bodies. Lakeland County Park in Islandia is designed for people with disabilities and their families. It has a nature trail boardwalk over the waters of the Connecticut River, offering unique views of wetland greenery, waterfowl, and fish. So that should be really nice. Discover Long Island always. Inclusivity is a top priority throughout Long Island. So it's really nice when we can spotlight these things so you know that you can take family members with different abilities here and they can have a great time. Yeah.
So visit discoverlongisland.com or download our app and follow us on social media for more info. We have a new blog. Tee Off Like the Pros at Long Island's legendary golf courses. I've gotten very into golf lately. I know, all because of Ryder Cup.
But, Long Island is a golfer's paradise. It's got rich history and prestigious golf courses, drawing players from all around the world. There's close to 130 golf courses and clubs in our region, more than 60 of which welcome public players. As the Ryder Cup approaches, September, everybody, we are getting there. The island is set to take center stage in the world of golf at Bethpage Black Course. With the onset of spring, now is the perfect time to explore our unforgettable golf courses. One that I would like to highlight is Indian Island Golf Course in Riverhead. This is featured in our new golf commercial.
Yes.
Which you may have seen during the Live Golf Tournament, which I believe was just a week or two ago in Miami. It aired, I think, 2 times, so hopefully you guys were able to catch it. But we did highlight several golf courses, public golf courses. Indian Head is in Riverhead. It is a gem on the Peconic Bay. Stunning water views, 18-hole layout. It's fun but challenging, and a breezy coastal vibe that we love here, which keeps things interesting, especially on the back nine. So it's affordable, it's approachable. It's just one of the ones that when you come here, it's not private. It is on the water. It is really, really beautiful. When we were there shooting our golf commercial, I had never been there before. I was completely amazed. I really felt like you could be anywhere.
Right.
And I think, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think that's a lot of our golf courses on Long Island. It feels like you could be anywhere. And it's, deceiving because it's beautiful. It's Long Island. And to your point, it's right on the water.
Yeah. I mean, it's quintessential Long Island. There's a lot of things when you come here, like, this is Long Island?
Right.
I thought I knew it.
Right.
And especially as you go out to Suffolk, it's like, we are an island. And people forget that. And so you're on this golf course and you look to your right or your left and it's beautiful. And like when we were shooting, there were birds flying into the sun. I mean, you couldn't have scripted this.
Magical.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like AI, it looks like it's CGI or whatever it is, but it really is what you're experiencing there. So I really would urge people to check out the public golf courses here because you think and you've been playing on this one. Your father, you've been playing on this one with your father for all these years. But get out into Suffolk County and check these out. And it's really beautiful. And if you go on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see the golf commercial, so you can see the other ones that we highlight. But this was really cool. And again, wasn't really a golf person, pretty proficient at mini golf, but nothing on 18. But I did get into it a bit more because of Ryder. So I was watching this weekend was the Masters.
Yeah.
And at 35 years old, Rory McIlroy took it, and he is now he's completed the career Grand Slam, which means he won all 4 he won the Masters, U.S. Open, Open Championship, and the PGA Championship. Good fact is he played in the PGA Championship at Bethpage Black in 2019.
Wow.
He did not win. He's not American. He'll be playing for the European team, and they're still deciding what the rosters are for America and Europe. But he is number 1. So it's very cool that we're getting, obviously the Ryder Cup is a big deal, but really if you're recognizing just some of the top names, it's very cool to understand that these guys are coming here.
Yeah.
Like
and
they're coming to us.
They've played Long Island before, which is awesome.
Yeah. And the last Ryder Cup was in Rome.
That's amazing.
So just like Long Island really represent, and people need to see that, like we are a force in golf.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not just a cute place to vacation, which is amazing, but like we are getting international golf superstars over here to play on our courses. And also one last thing, for those who are not golf fans yet, potentially women, but for anybody, if you think you can be converted, they are not the worst looking group of people. I was checking out some headshots just to see who'd be coming over to Bethpage Black. shout out to Bryson DeChambeau. I don't know if that's his name, but I do know of some nice bars around Bethpage Black. If you're free in September,
I can help you.
Stacy Black, VP of Strategy. Yeah, I can take you around. Yeah, if you want to get away from all like the paparazzi and the hubbub, holler at me.
That is hilarious. You are so funny. So I love that you're into golf now. Are you going to play?
Yeah, I will, probably more of a spectator than an active player, but I do live very close to Bethpage Black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do.
And I do, it's a bike ride, it's an aggressive bike ride for me if I didn't want to drive. But I am, it's a beautiful sport to play in this weather, and I can't talk about all these public golf courses without being a woman of action.
Exactly.
So I do plan on,
experiencing some of your own. Yeah. I love it. Do you know what just happened recently? Speaking of, historic things, the St. James General Store, it gained an incredible amount of social media fame. The St. James General Store, established here in 1857 and recognized as the longest running general store in the U.S., has recently experienced a surge in popularity due to a viral social media video. Known for its nostalgic charm and eclectic offerings, the store has attracted visitors from around the world eager to experience the unique ambience and historical vibes. Have you ever been there?
No, but I did watch the video.
Okay.
Sorry, have you been?
Yes, it's so cool. It's like takes you back, like the front door. Just even if it's just an amazing feeling to be there and standing in front of 1857. That's incredible.
I know, and I don't think people appreciate how, what that really means to still have significance and to still be a functioning structure.
Exactly.
That long. I did watch the video, and I did a little research, and rumor has it that it's haunted.
Oh.
But I will say I am willing to mess with a ghost for good candy. Okay. And their candy selection there looks pretty tight.
I do have to say, you just reminded me of something. Friday night, I'm sitting, Dan and I are watching TV and the kids sleeping. I think my house is haunted. Oh, no. I heard somebody walking around and slammed a door in my house.
And it was not your son?
No. He was actually out at a sleepover. I got up and I looked to see if the girls, what they were doing. They were sound asleep. It was literally in my kitchen. I don't know. It was the most scariest thing.
How's your sleep after that? Because that for me, my eyes
totally
stay open all night.
Out. But I was fine. But I said to him the next time, what was that noise? He's like, I don't know, Sharon. Calm down. Stop being crazy. I'm like, no, it was we both jumped up.
Wind?
I don't know.
I think that's the only way to justify that.
I don't know.
Yeah, just best to not think about it anymore. It was a figment of your imagination.
It was a figment. All right, I'll go with that. But I don't know. That just freaked me out. And he didn't believe me.
I am not a horror film scary person. I would sooner jump out of a plane than go see a horror movie. I just cannot do it. I've always been. I can
watch scary jump scares, but I can't watch anything that has to do with religion or children.
No, right. The children is a no-go. I remember still a 4th grade birthday party where everybody went into a basement and they watched Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh God, no. And
right by me, friends of mine lived on Kruger Road. Oh. I mean, it was 2 turns from my house. And I was like, this connection is on purpose. So I stopped riding my bike down her street. And the whole thing with Nightmare on Elm Street was that it happened, you had to fall asleep, and that's where it's a nightmare.
Right.
So that was really fun to A, fake watching it, and then B, pretending that I didn't want to sleep in my parents' bed the minute I got home.
Oh my God, I hate it. Okay, let's positive, okay?
Yeah, let's go.
This weekend, April 18th, we have some fun things happening on Friday, create your own blend at RGNY in Riverhead.
Yeah, you know how I feel about
dying
this
for this.
Followed by happy hour at Opus Steakhouse, 110, Blackstone Steakhouse, number 650. Shout out to our Scotter Brothers restaurants.
Splish Splash Job Fair opens May 24th for their 35th season. They're having their job fair on Friday, April 18th.
And then on Saturday, April 19th, we've got the Port Jeff Dessert Crawl, Easter Parade, and Egg Hunt.
Ooh,
it's a lot in one.
That's a lot. Hampton's Whodunit Annual Mystery and Crime Festival in East Hampton Village is happening all weekend long.
this is amazing. I'm like pausing to see how I can alter my weekend. Sunday, April 20th, happy Easter. Just check out our TikTok and Instagram reel for a huge list of Easter brunches on Long Island.
Yeah, so many places do that, and they all have like the unlimited champagne or, mimosas, and
we're always on the
Bloody Marys.
Forget the Easter bunny.
Forget
and
it.
Gathering with your family. It's really just about the unlimited
the brunch
mimosas.
spot on Long Island. That's so funny. We do have a charity. Camille from United Cerebral Palsy of Long Island reached out to us about their 2 fundraising events coming up, a night in Monte Carlo on April 24th. And they also are doing their cornhole tournament sponsored by Young Professionals on July 26th. The information will be listed in our notes, but for more information, visit ucp-li.org to learn how to support this amazing cause.
One thing about that, their event on April 24th, the night in Monte Carlo, it's actually taking place at the venue at the Bethpage Black Golf Course.
Oh, that's so
if you
cool.
want at Heritage Club.
Yeah.
So if you want more reason to potentially participate in the event, go check out where the Ryder Cup is going to be played. So that's sort of like a 2-for-1 bonus. Yeah.
We ready for some celebrity? I feel like you have a ton.
Oh my God. I know. I've been like bursting into the scenes. I'm like, next.
Now.
White Lotus.
White Lotus. You watch the whole thing?
Season 3 finale. I mentioned in the last podcast, I come from television. It's where the majority of my career has been. And so appointment programming was a big thing before DVRing came around. Like, you got in front of your television at 8:00 or you were going to miss that episode.
Right.
This is obviously 900 years ago.
Yes. Growing up, yes.
But I will say White Lotus for me is appointment programming.
Yeah.
I don't care that I could watch it later at night or the next day or at my leisure, which is the beauty of watching things on streaming or DVD, whatever. But that was on. I was there 2 minutes early, and it did not have the new episode up yet. Like, it didn't say like
up next.
Yeah, up next. And I was like, oh no, oh no. And I like stepped out of the room, did
took
something.
A little walk.
Took a little walk. Came back, left the app, came back into the app, and there it was. And it was like everyone quiet here. It's almost like when I'm on a meeting from home, like if I'm on a call, my kids know. They're like. No, like anybody who sees me on a call, you'll see me take a side and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I was like, you are all fed. You are showered. You are not babies. Give me my hour. And yeah, I was very excited.
What'd you think of it?
The show can't do any wrong. Any season. I have people that are like, well, was it like as impactful as season 1? Did you? It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's like I almost have an inability to critique the show. One thing did bother me though. I'm going to immediately contradict myself, but I loved it.
Okay.
I like, I love the whole idea of the show, that it starts with the thing and then we discover what the thing is and how it got there. How did you feel? What did you find was the most surprising part or?
You don't want to give it away for anybody who hasn't seen it, but I feel like the absolute end scene was awesome.
Yes. Right. We can't spoil.
I can't spoil.
I don't know. If you haven't watched it, it seems like a you problem.
I loved what we did though on social media with Piper.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so funny. She's in All of Us. I thought that was hilarious.
Yes. I cannot watch enough of either Parker Posey just doing her own impression of herself or the cast doing their impression.
It's hilarious.
Piper, no. I don't want to do any spoilers. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave it.
Well, no, I feel like you're right.
There's one thing.
I don't think you're going to spoil it.
Can I just say the part that I thought was most surprising was I thought the Lisa, I can't recall her name on the show, the one that the security guard had a crush on. I thought she was going to end up being a bad person.
Right.
Like part of the robbery ring.
Right.
Because I know that the whole thing was that she wanted him to, keep being his best self.
Right.
And there was always a little bit of that. Is she after it? Like, does she?
What is happening?
Yeah, why can't she just like him for him? And then she was so disappointed that he wasn't doing what she wanted him to do that it almost seemed like, she wasn't into him for his heart. But I'm happy it didn't seem to go that way. I mean, I think she always just wanted to be impressed by his status.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was surprising to me. And Mike White, the creator of the show, I thought had this good quote. He said, this season about Westerners going abroad to fix themselves and accidentally breaking everything around them. And if you just think of the staff waving goodbye, everybody there's people who have passed on. There's people leaving who are like, we broke this resort. There are deaths here attributed to us, but we're going back. and you guys have a good life. And so I just thought that was really interesting. But I do have a question for you.
Yes.
If you had to be stuck at the White Lotus Resort with one of the guests, who would you pick?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm very bad with names, character names.
Okay.
So if I have to answer this question, I may have to just describe who the person is because I'm...
I would say the woman who is opening up her own wellness spot after she just hit big.
Yeah, she did him dirty. More spoilers. Yeah, we can edit out. She did him dirty. Yeah. She played the exact role that by the woman who scorns her.
Yeah,
who burns her.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I like her too.
She's awesome.
And I like her son. Mm-hmm. Do you know they cut a scene? This is probably inappropriate, sorry. They cut a scene where her son, where the daughter from the Southern family lost her virginity to the spa lady's son while on...
Wow.
While at the resort.
That's insane.
I've been reading a lot. And it's like anything that has a White Lotus picture or caption attached, I'm clicking on it for every single bit there. And Saturday Night Live did White POTUS. Not sure if you saw that sketch.
I didn't see it, but I saw that the actress who they were...
She was upset.
She was very upset.
It really was nothing.
Okay.
It really was nothing.
Okay.
It wasn't even over exaggerated like the way that like Family Guy might do it where her teeth are going to be like on the floor in front of her.
Right.
It was, and she just was making this like sort of surprised face that she made all season. You know, but yeah, I didn't think it was bad because I looked, that's, I didn't catch the sketch in real time.
Right.
I watched it after thinking it was going to be like really, it's pretty basic.
What character would you stay with?
I would stay with, I like Parker Posey. I know, it's so weird. I feel like we would just have like a good relaxed time together and she would make me like sort of laugh the whole time and I wouldn't have to do much. I would just like laugh at or with her the whole time. I think she'd be my pick, which I know is sort of weird. But I think the woman who wanted to open the spa would be next. Hopefully she would just sort of like be okay with like giving me massages all the time, which is my dream. When I think about winning the lotto, I think about having like an in-house, a masseuse that lives in my home. So I'm constantly...
a chef. Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
A chef, a maid. Yeah.
Driver.
A driver.
Someone who will constantly be giving me Botox.
Okay.
Just at the first sight of 11s. But we did mention the last time we were talking about how, it's all about tourism.
Yes.
And we mentioned gurneys. And I was thinking gurneys. And then also another great idea would be like a Gold Coast mansion, a Gold Coast wedding gone wrong. I feel like that would be very cool to like have it there as well.
That would be interesting. Yeah. I see that.
So, Mike White, is this thing on? Come out to Long Island.
Casting.
We'll have our staff take you around, do some site visits.
That's so funny.
But yeah, the show is about secrets that lurk within.
I love it. And we were going to talk about another show.
Yeah, Handmaids.
Handmaids.
Oh my God. This is like the perfect podcast episode for me. It's like all the things that I love. Yes.
I feel like I'm the same way as White Lotus. Like as soon as they dropped 3 episodes, and I binged them right away.
Me too.
I don't know. I'm afraid of how the direction's going with it. With Serena, I'm like, what is happening?
I know.
She's like scary to me. I don't know. What do you think?
I get nervous because I think the position they're putting her in now is what she wanted from the beginning.
Right.
Which is like a position of power, like New Bethlehem, which is that community, which is like she would lead it. And she just the flashbacks were important, I think. Yeah. Because we saw a relationship with her father and that, I guess the way she phrased is that she did want to do good. So New Bethlehem is this community they've built because they recognized that it was too extreme what they were doing. Right. And they wanted more people to get on board. And maybe this is their way of getting on board. Bring them in. Yeah. Pretend that they are less conservative. That they're becoming, I would not use the word liberal, but, more open with how they want to treat this new community and the new world. Get everybody coming in and then maybe turn it on again. But she has been, Serena, she was protected by June. Yeah. And I think what's important to note is that on that train ride, when everybody realized who she was, they were going to do to her the same thing how Serena's husband was killed. Right. Which was the season finale of season 4, was that they brought him into the woods and all the women brought violence upon him.
Right.
And that's exactly how she was about to go out. But June, with her, her enormous heart, and I don't know if Serena got under her skin at all in a good way. She was a mother now. The one thing I thought was funny was that she pushed her and her baby off the train, off a moving train. Like there's a baby there. So I wasn't really sure how that was going to go. But I think we are, I actually thought last season was the final season. And I was pretty zen on it. I was like, we're good here. I am interested to see how New Bethlehem comes around, if she actually gets the sort of position and power that she wants, and if it then goes to her head, which it ultimately did already.
The minute she was announcing it. Who was the commander? I forgot who she lived with prior. What family she was with?
The Wheelers. What
happened to them? Because I can't remember.
You know what? I meant to look it up because they kept threatening that they would find out about her. I can't recall, but they must have exerted some power over her, which she wasn't interested in. But it's true. I meant to look it up. Like how did she get away from them?
Right. I totally forgot what had happened.
I looked them up and I remembered the wife who has like this very sweet face, but like smile, stab you in the back type of face. But yeah, I have to look that up again. But I am very interested in how New Bethlehem goes because I think it's a great storyline. I'm very into it. And I don't think it's going to, I just hope that the bad guy doesn't win. Yeah. Because this is, Handmaid's Tale, as some of us may see it, is not so far-fetched.
Right. I know, it's so scary.
And, sometimes the bad guy does win. It's not, not everything's a fairy tale. So I'm hoping that June still prevails. She always does. In gruesome ways. Yeah. Not in, fairy tale ways, but I'm into the season, and I was very bummed because I was homesick. I forgot that it was just 3. Right. And I was like, oh my God, am I about to binge watch the entire new season?
But they drop another one, right?
Yeah, I know it's coming, but I watched 3 in one night. Yeah. It's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy.
But I'm really happy with the season. I wasn't sure how it was going to go.
Yeah, I'm eager to see too. You know what's happening this past weekend? Where the reason why Chris is having to do all the editing is our dear Michael is at Coachella.
Yeah. I mean, that's not envy. That is pure jealousy. I'm green. I'm wearing blue. I'm green with jealousy.
Oh, have you ever been to that?
I've not. I've been to festivals. I've been to Austin City Limits and things like that.
I'm not like a festival kind of person.
It's changed. I think when I used to go, I was putting on like my most comfortable like cotton tee and jean shorts. Yeah. And now there's a lot of fashion. Yeah. I mean, that's the pictures you're seeing, tons of celebrities.
What is the theme this year?
It was cowboy core, which Michael, I think, exhibited well. Okay. I believe the picture I saw, there were cowboy boots.
All right.
He looked very, very cute and comfortable and very on brand to be there. And I know that he posted a lot with Gaga was there.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big one. Her. She was a major headliner. Some of the fashion, Julia Fox, for anybody that remembers, she was a girlfriend of Kanye West at some point. She is well known for she was a muse for Uncut Gems. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. You did know it. You did know it. I guarantee you said it to your friends. It was something that was just contagious and you could not get out of your head. She's in an interview and she's talking about being the muse. And for some reason she says Uncut Gems, which was a popular movie at the time. And she just says, I was the muse for Uncut Gems. I promise. It sounds stupid maybe coming from me, but I promise it'll be funny. Benson Boone did an amazing version of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh my gosh.
With like a choir in the back. He was in his sequin one piece. He played the piano. It was very beautiful. And Brian Mays, I think is his name, was the original guitarist for Queen. So he rose up and he was doing it.
Awesome.
It was really, really well done. I'm a big Queen fan.
Me too.
So it's he's not going to do it unless he has the range, right? And he has that you have to have that a certain type of energy. Yeah, it's not just about a voice. He did a flip.
Oh my gosh, I got to look it up.
All of his things, but that was really beautiful to watch. That was a really great performance. Going back to White Lotus, Lisa, who is the love interest of the security guard, is in Blackpink, which is like an enormous. It's like K-pop band. It's K-pop meets hip hop meets EDM. Okay, but they are an internationally known, very popular brands. And I'd heard of them, and I never listened, to be honest. And once they said she performed there, she performed solo.
Wow.
And it's adorable. I mean, she's an amazing entertainer.
That's awesome.
Amazing entertainer. And they had said around White Lotus that she had the most security out of all of the cast there because she is so wildly popular. They likened her popularity in Thailand to a combination of Taylor Swift and Princess Diana.
Wow.
And so in the audience was Schwarzenegger's son.
Okay.
The security guy's son.
Who's awesome.
Not security guy's son, sorry. Schwarzenegger's son and the security guard from the show, who's also a singer. And so it's just cute to see everybody out of like their cast outfits and just cute and
partaking
dancing.
In Coachella. I love it. That's awesome.
Was cute. And then I know this will resonate with you. Missy Elliott performed. Amazing. She was on stage as a transformer.
Okay.
And suddenly opened up and went from like a car
oh my gosh.
to performing, doing very Missy Elliott-like performances.
Yes.
And one of the things I was reading was that the younger demo was not as appreciative. So then you had all these other, from hip hop artists to other types of artists, tweeting and posting like, put some respect in her name. This is amazing. And you watch the performance, it's like, how does this not get you
resonate?
moving?
Yeah.
It was amazing. And I did see her, sorry, I'm yapping now, but Missy Elliott, I saw her at UBS Arena in 2024.
Right. That's right. What an incredible place.
It was so amazing. And it was one of the things I loved about it, again, Long Island, was the diversity in the crowd. And obviously you'll see that in Coachella, but at UBS Arena, it was like, there were younger people in front of us. There were people, like just different everything all around us because Missy Elliott has that effect. Yeah. It's music to get you moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was really great. That was a great experience at UBS for me in 2024.
I love that. I love that. All that Coachella news. That's fun.
Yeah, we need to get there. We need maybe something for talent bookers and
she's casting all the calls.
Festivals, yeah. Come on over. We certainly have everything you need here. We've got water. We've got interest. We have wineries. We have venues. Come take a look.
Yeah. Stacy can take you around.
Yeah, I'm here.
Here to help. I think that, again, spring break this week, the weather gods are going to be on our side. Get out, go hiking, go visit our parks, go visit our beaches, go look at our lighthouses, take a tour, get out there on Long Island. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and shout out to, speaking of lighthouses, if you follow us on social, which I hope you do, the Huntington Lighthouse.
Yes, Our You Belong.
Our You Belong is posted on social, but also on our YouTube. Pam runs the lighthouse, saved the lighthouse, continues to save the lighthouse.
Awesome.
She was so amazing to work with, but somebody that, you want to get the job done because you have high requirements of yourself, and she requires a lot of you. And then you immediately want to go have a drink with her.
Oh yeah. She's awesome.
Like she's an amazing storyteller, but also someone that you're like, how aren't we friends?
Right.
Like, were we
Why
friends
did it take
in a
us this
different
long?
life? Right.
Yeah.
Like how? And so I really loved seeing that up and seeing like a lot of the great comments. And I send this stuff to all of my friends and family. And, I'll go out to dinner with them later and they'll be like, we ended up, it sounds corny, but like we showed it to this friend or that friend. And Huntington Lighthouse specifically, I don't want to call it a hidden gem because it's right there. Right. If you're familiar with Prime, the restaurant, it's really right next door. And we took this boat out, a 10-minute boat ride. And then you get to the lighthouse and it's like, it was like, okay, like who do I know that can get married here?
Right.
How do I get friends here?
Yeah.
Should we picnic here? And you look out and again, it's like what we said before with the golf courses. Like you just don't you could be anywhere, but you're here. You're on Long Island and like, you don't have to go far to experience these beautiful views. I mean, the houses are ridiculous. The kind of houses that you are with your friends and you're like, how much do you think that has?
Yeah.
Or like they have the open windows and you're looking and you're like, oh my God, look at that piano, look at that baby grand in there. Oh my God, look at that, marble countertop or whatever, and it's just so cool. And you're like, oh wait, I am like 10 minutes from home.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go into Huntington and have the sickest meal. And
a beautiful restaurant.
Yeah.
Overlook this view. Exactly. It's crazy.
So, just focus. I would just urge our viewers really, not to get serious, but when you follow us on social, really look at the content.
Yeah.
We put, besides the work and the effort of our amazing staff, like there's a lot of thought. These things are really touching when you're on site shooting. Like when I see this stuff, it's, it's really beautiful and you really start to appreciate, the things that like were right in front of you. Right in front of you.
Yeah, it is true. So yeah, get out there, go visit the sites, enjoy Long Island while spring is blooming. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me anytime.
I think that we are going to have some fun with this Sharon and Friends series. Here we go. But yeah, tune in next week.
The Long Island Tea Podcast is brought to you by Discover Long Island, thanks to our generous sponsor, Sands New York. Visit sandsnewyork.com for more information. For exclusive access to contests and promotions, follow Long Island Tea Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and X. And for questions, comments, and collaborative inquiries, email spillthetea@discoverlongisland.com.